All right, so here we have a sum of 29,500 was invested in three mutual funds. In 1 year, the first fund grew 4%, second 5%, third 7.5%. The total earnings were 1755. The amount invested in the third fund was 1,500 less than the combined amount invested in the other two. Now we're supposed to use a linear system of equations to determine the amount invested in each fund. Use the simple interest formula to calculate each fund. Well, simple interest equals, get it here. Basically, where's my writing? I equals PRT, and T in this case is going to be equal, oops, T is equal to 1 because it's just in 1 year. So we just have the principal, the rate, and that's how much interest. Okay, so let's set up our variables. So let's let X equal the amount at 4%. Let's let Y equal the amount at 5%, and let's let Z equal the amount at the 7.5%. Okay. So now what we can do is we can write in our equations. And so our first equation, let's say we plug in the percentages and find out our total. So we're going to have, now remember, we can't use this as a percent. We have to put it as a decimal. So this is really that. So we're going to have 0.04x plus 0.05y plus 0.075z equals. Now we're taking the principal x times the rate. So what we're doing is we're doing this part here, and we're taking it times 1, but 1, we don't have to write 1 every time. That's just going to be redundant, so we're not going to do that. And that means we're going to get a total of $1,755. So that's the first rate, our first interest, that's the second interest, that's the third interest. Add it to that, we get the total here. Now, the next thing it says is the amount invested in the third fund, Z, was 1,500 less than the combined of the other two. So X plus Y minus 1,500. Okay, so that's not too bad. Now, is that in the form we can use it? No, we're going to have to just move everything over, but that's okay. Now, the last one, what do we know? Well, we know the total invested was 29,500. So if we take the amount invested in X plus the amount invested in Y plus the amount invested in C, we better get 29,500. Okay. So the only thing we really need to do is, I'm going to say is, let's get rid of decimals here. So let's multiply this one by 100, and let's take the X and the Y over, and that'll give us equations we can work with. So that's going to give us 4x plus 5y plus 7.5z. Yes, we're still going to have a decimal, but that's okay. Equals 175500. Okay, so that's going to be equation 1. Now equation 2 is going to be minus x minus y plus z equals a minus 1500. And again, that's equation 2. And equation 3, well, that's still this one, so we don't have to do anything with that one. All right, so now looking at these equations, I see that if we take equation 2 plus equation 3, I'm going to get rid of x and y right away and get z. So I'm going to take 2 plus 3 and get rid of those values. So minus x minus y plus z equals negative 1,500. X plus y plus z equals 29,500. Add those together. Bam, 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 bam. So I get 2z equals. Now, if I subtract that off, that's going to be 0.0082. So 28,000. Now, if I divide that by 2, my z is going to be 14,000. And that's going to be at the 7.5%. So that's how much was invested for z. All right, now what am I going to do? Well, now it looks like what I need to do is let's work with 1 and 2. And if I get rid of the x's, then I'll have to solve for the y because I already know the z. So if I take, let's take 1. Remember, we've already multiplied it out by 100. And then if I take that plus a 4 times equation 2, then I should get something that'll work for me. And so again, that's going to be what? 4x plus 5y plus 7.5z. And that equals 17 1.5500, big number. And then I'm going to take 4 times 2, so it's going to be a minus 4x minus 4y, and then minus 4z equals, now minus times, 4 times that is going to be what, 6,000? And it's going to be a minus. Oops, I just need to go over here. So that cancels that. 5 minus 4 is just going to give me a y. 7.5. Oh, wait a minute here. 7.5. Okay, yeah. So I did that. All right, so I took that over. All right, I'm just checking to make sure I'm getting things right here. So if subtract over, so that's gonna be plus what? 3.5, and that's gonna be a z equals, and then I'm gonna do that one on my calculator just because I don't want to mess up here. 175,500 minus 6,000, 169,500. All right. Now, what did I know? I knew z, so y plus 3.5 times 14,000 equals 169,500. And so if I subtract off 14,000 times 3.5, okay. Seems like I've done something wrong here. I don't know what it's, doesn't seem right numbers here. That's that number's too big. Uh, so what? Okay, I'm gonna pause here and I'll come back after I figure out what I've done.